So here's my Kent La Jolla bicycle I bought from Walmart. I'm presenting this video kind of backwards in a way, showing you the completed bike with just a quick summary of what it is and what it isn't, so you can make a decision if this is something you want to take a look at. Farther along in the video, for those that want more detail and seeing it in box and all that, that information's there. But anyway, here's my executive summary on this thing. $85 plus tax and shipping, $95.20 to the door. It's aluminum frame. The bike as you see it, stripped of the fenders, chain guard, and kickstand, weighs 27 pounds, which is really light for a cruiser bike. Most of the Schwinn's in that are around 37 to 40 pounds. So, from that perspective, it's a really good deal. It's single speed. And kind of the bottom line is it worth the money? And I'd say yes, with one qualifier. If you can adjust bearings, take apart a coaster hub, add grease, take off tires, straighten valve stems, it's well worth the 85 bucks. Or if you plan on having a qualified bike mechanic go through it, adjust the bearings, add grease, it's well worth the money. The bike's an awesome bike. I'm really pleased with it. Just got back. I took it for its first ride, a short ride. Typically I go 36 to 50 miles on my Trek mountain bike or my Giant road bike. I took this out for a 20-mile ride this morning, and it's a little weird getting used to a coaster brake, single speed, but it did real well. This is an $85 bike. Everything on the bike works. Initially when I assembled it, I noticed the front wheel bearing was improperly adjusted so tight you couldn't turn the axle with your fingers. So I took that apart, looked at it, and there was plenty of grease in the front hub, but it was not adjusted correctly, so I fixed that. So as you see it, it's not completely stock. I took the big Giant seat off, put a kind of a more normal seat on there. I added a water bottle cage. The bike does not have bosses for water bottle mounts. So what I have here is a piece of foam tape stuck to the back of the cage, 2 black tie wraps. Works great. When I first started riding this bike, or as I was setting it up, the rear hub there with the coaster brake definitely needed to be greased. Riding down the street, putting on the brake the first time, it wailed, made a lot of noise, and when I coasted, the hub made a lot of like a grinding noise. So I took it apart, greased it up, and works like a champ now. No problem at all. So here's my new Kent La Jolla cruiser bike from Walmart. I'm doing this review because I was looking for a cruiser bike. I could only find one video review of this bike on YouTube, and I was looking for more detail. So I'm going to give you details about this bike. The reason I bought this bike, I already have 2 bikes, a Trek 930 and a Giant OCR1, which is a mountain bike and road bike. So I didn't need another bike. But curiosity got the better of me. What can you get for 85 bucks? So here's the box. I ordered this Saturday morning at about 5 o'clock. I got it Tuesday afternoon. So total price with tax and delivery was like 95 bucks. So as far as how the box came, there's one little tear right there in the middle, which I'm guessing is the crankset pushing through. Other than that, the box is intact. So I thought I'd show you first what the box looks like, and I'm going to unpack it. So here it is, just how it comes out of the box, with the exception of you see 2 seats down there. The seat on the right is the seat that comes with the bike, and it is huge. It's probably close to a foot across left to right. The seat on the left is one I had in my garage. That's an Avnar City 100 seat. I'm going to use that, and probably You can't see it, but there's an aluminum seat post sitting there. The seat post that comes with it, with the seat, weighs 2.5 pounds, and the other alloy stem and the Avnar seat weigh 2 pounds, so I'm going to go with that. Here's the bike unpacked. This is an alloy frame, or aluminum frame. The crank set is a 3-piece crank set, but those crank arms are steel, not aluminum. The sprocket's aluminum, or I'm sorry, steel. It's got a lot of Go Fast decals on it, not even decals, stickers. The bike probably takes longer to unpack all the packing material than it's going to take to put it together. It's a lot of packing material. I don't find any scratches or abrasions on the paint. I think it was well packed. So far it's looking pretty good. Like I said, my goal here was to give you a detailed review of this bike, and you know, when I was looking for information all over the internet, probably the biggest source and the most inaccurate source is the questions and answers on Walmart's website. Somebody said, you know, what size pedals are those? And everybody agreed they were 1/2 inch. They're 9/16. So I actually took a pedal with a 9/16 axle and threaded it in the crank arm, so I'm not guessing, I'm sure. Here's the tire that comes on the bike. It's 2.1 inches wide by 26. It looks okay. There's actually air in these tires, which I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, it's got the center rib for easy rolling. It's got the little things on the side for traction. I'll bet it's really heavy. One of the changes I'm going to make to this bike, I'm probably going to throw some Panaracer Tour Guard 1.5-inch wide tires on here. I'm sure that'll probably reduce the weight of the bike by 1 pound. One of the complaints I've heard about this bike, this is the front wheel, that's the front axle, is that the bearings don't come well greased. I haven't gotten to the well greased part yet, but this is ridiculously tight. I can barely turn this bearing. So I'm going to take it apart and see what the hell's in there. Okay, I took the front hub apart. There was plenty of grease in there, but the bearings weren't adjusted worth a crap. I could barely turn it with my fingers. Now, slicker than snot. So the other thing I noticed is that valve stem doesn't look quite right. Coming out at an angle like that, seems like it's not coming out far enough. So I'm going to pop off the front tire and see what's going on in there. Okay, I put my my own seat on there and threw the handlebars on there. And out of the box, doesn't that sound good? The fender is dragging on the wheel. Not a real big deal because I'm taking the fender off, and the valve stem, like the others, just kind of in there crooked. So I'll unmount the wheel, check the bearings, and get the fender gone and the kickstand, because I don't want a kickstand either. So there it is assembled. It's a bigger bike than you might expect. I mean, it's got 26-inch wheels. I left that little aluminum yardstick up there. Doubt you can read it. I can. To where the yardstick intersects the top of the top tube there is 32 inches off the ground. It goes basically, as you go down that tube, about from where you'd stand, 31 to 32 inches. I have a 30-inch inseam. I usually go for like a 53 centimeter frame, which I guess is, gosh, off the top of my head, I think it's 21 inches or maybe 20, somewhere in there. You can do the math. 2.54. Anyway, I'll be able to ride this, no doubt. getting off I'll have to be a little careful. But the reach, of course, from the seat to the handlebars is pretty short because it's a cruiser bike. But as it stands right now with the things I've done to it, I took the fenders off, took the chain guard off, and as it sits right now it weighs 29 pounds. I couldn't get the kickstand off. Like I mentioned, I'm not much of a kickstand guy. I would expect I'll, reduce it at least another pound. So here we are starting at the grips. Like I mentioned before, they're kind of torpedo-shaped grips. They feel comfortable, I'll say that. I was able to straighten out. You got the steel bar. You have the steel stem, which is kind of cheap and cheesy looking. You have the infamous, or famous even, Kent head badge. It's actually not a total piece of crap. There's the headset. It's a threaded fork, kind of old style with a quill stem. And you come down to the tube fork with the cheesy decal on the side that's probably going to go. You've got the little safety hooks on the front axle, obviously no quick release, and your painted orange rims. Let's see, 26 by 2.1 tires. There is a hole up here where you could attach a front brake or the fender. You kind of looked at the welds before. They're predictably not ultra smooth. And the paint's, it's there. Definitely some imperfections. Probably let you know it's lightweight aluminum. It has a quick release for the seat post, which seems to work just fine. We got the back. We've got a hole for another brake if you wanted to put one there. Rear brake. There's a weld at the back. Rear chain stays. Come down. The rear dropouts, I don't know if you can see that very well. They look to be a good 1/4 inch thick. Nice heavy welds down there where the chain stays connect. That tomb monument looking thing right there is for the chain guard, which I took off. The rear axle nuts have like a serrated washer. When you tighten it down, it kind of bites into the side there. Both the wheels are true. Now I haven't ridden it yet. Maybe that'll change. I did go through the spokes and I didn't find any dead ones. They've got the stupid kickstand on there. Okay, I'm prejudiced against kickstands. And it looks to be, I don't know, a 10, maybe 9mm Allen wrench to take it off. I don't have one. I'm going to have to get one. Here's the crank set. Again, it's a steel sprocket, steel arms, and coming down to the pedals. They spin okay. I mean, they're low-grade pedals, obviously. They're nubbed. They're for, obviously, street shoes. So here's my Kent La Jolla bicycle I bought from Walmart. I'm presenting this video kind of backwards in a way, showing you the completed bike with just a quick summary of what it is and what it isn't, so you can make a decision if this is something you want to take a look at. Farther along in the video, for those that want more detail and seeing it unboxed and all that, that information's there. But anyway, here's my executive summary on this thing. $85 plus tax and shipping, $95.20 to the door. It's aluminum frame. The bike as you see it, stripped of the fenders, chain guard, and kickstand, weighs 27 pounds, which is really light for a cruiser bike. Most of the Schwinn's in that are around 37 to 40 pounds. So, from that perspective, it's a really good deal. Single speed. And, kind of the bottom line is it worth the money? And I'd say yes, with one qualifier. If you can adjust bearings, take apart a coaster hub, add grease, take off tires, straighten valve stems, that's